Hi, my name is Jadzia and I'm a second semester sophomore majoring in global affairs here at Mason, Korea. This semester, I was lucky enough to receive a Spring 2024 Leadership Scholarship. I would consider myself a leader on campus because of the roles I have taken on in the Mason community since enrolling here. I believe that people aren't born leaders, but leaders are made through the ambition and courage of people who are willing to push themselves out of their comfort zone. I was definitely not a born leader. I grew up as a shy kid who was quiet, afraid of public speaking, and was perfectly content just playing a small role in my communities without stepping up in any major way. But after coming to Korea for the first time in high school, I gained a newfound perspective on the value of taking the lead and playing a larger role in the communities I am a part of. Since then, and since enrolling at Mason, my ambition has helped me make so many new friends, step out of my comfort zone, and is helping me work towards achieving my greater goals. Let me walk you through some of the activities I've been doing on campus that have helped me grow into the student leader I am today and continue to help me grow every day. When I first came to Mason, I was still a bit aimless in terms of my career goals. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew it had to be somewhere in between international affairs and film. I leaned more towards international relations at the time, so I chose a major in global affairs. But I refused to give up my passion for video production. So, the first RSO I joined on campus was Asian Boss Next. As a huge fan of the company Asian Boss, the idea of joining Asian Boss Next was extremely exciting to me, so I joined right in my first semester. And now, in my fourth semester, I'm an executive member, specifically the editor-in-chief. My role as editor-in-chief basically just means I am leading the editing department, and I provide feedback to the department members whenever they're done editing their videos. This semester, I'm also a board member of Mason Film. Mason Film is a club I've wanted to join since I first came to this school, but I was never able to until this past fall. I got to be a director accidentally for the thriller short film we were filming at the time. I was not prepared to be the director, but I really loved the role and it made me more confident in my leadership skills. So I was really happy to come back this semester and actually get promoted to become an exec, and now I am the vice president of Mason Film for this semester. What I do as vice president is basically just support the president and work with the rest of the board to help create events and support the club in general. And this semester, since we're working in teams to make 2 separate movies, I am in charge of one team and the president is in charge of a different team.
So I'm taking a walk around campus right now. I was actually on my way to the Mason Film Room so I could continue working on stuff, getting prepared for Mason Day. One of the big responsibilities as being a board member of Asian Boss Next and Mason Film has been the fact that we have to participate in Mason Day. So one of our booths is actually going to be right over there, and then the other one will be at the bottom of Sunken Plaza. So as of now, Mason Day is the biggest project that all of my clubs are working on, and this is one of the biggest responsibilities we have as board members during this time in spring. So right now we're trying to decide how to fundraise for our clubs, what activities we should give out to make sure that we get the most attention at our booths and can promote our club in the best way possible. That way we can get more members later and benefit our current members the best way that we can.
So with all the activities I do on campus, I'm typically very busy and I have a lot of stuff to do. So whenever I have free time on campus, I'm usually either in the study room on the 6th floor, getting a bunch of work done, or in the Mason Film Room, doing video editing or just homework. Welcome to my daily workspace. I really love all of my activities and I tend to get into my work, so I often end up staying in the Mason Film Room way longer than I expect to.
When did it turn dark? Why am I still on campus?
Okay, now that I've introduced you all to the fun side of my clubs, I think it's time to talk about something a little bit more serious. As a student leader, I know it is my responsibility to make a positive impact with my role and to improve the campus lives of my fellow students. When I was in student government last year, I was the Secretary of Diversity and Multicultural Affairs. I have also been a member of our school's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee since my first semester. Through these roles, I very specifically got to focus on the diversity issues that a lot of students were struggling with on campus, and I was, and still am, in a position that I feel I can improve these issues. Currently within the DEI, my peers and I are trying to host events where students can openly communicate with faculty and staff so that both sides of our Mason Korea community can get a better understanding of each other's perspectives and share their experiences. Last semester we held an event called Conversations at the Crossroads, where we created an open space for all members of the Mason community to come and talk about what they thought our school was doing well and what we really needed to improve upon in terms of diversity and just making everyone feel included. Feedback we received, we are actively trying to make changes with inclusive teaching, changing the way that we hire faculty and staff, focusing on student, faculty, and staff retention, and just creating a general inclusive climate here on campus. With student government, I was more heavily focused on the divide that is apparent between Korean and international students here at the Mason Korea campus. During my term, I was working with the Fairfax student government to create a buddy program where students could open up more to cross-cultural friendships in a space where a lot of other students were openly looking for friendship, and it would be a much more non-judgmental space. I'm really happy that the current student government was able to get that running, and I was really glad to be part of that project back then. But now that I'm not part of student government, I am trying to see how I can continue this initiative within my other clubs and my board member role within Asian Boss Next and Mason Film. For Mason Film, we always keep our events open to all members of the Mason community, and we keep our trivia questions catered to all types of audiences. And we do this by trying to focus more on movies that have been trending globally so that both Korean and international audiences will be familiar with the content. Regarding our short films that we make, we have made movies in both Korean and English, and this is based solely on whatever language the scriptwriters in every semester feel comfortable writing in. Next semester, I want to make our club even more inclusive by continuing this new system that we made this semester of breaking up into teams to make movies. I feel that this makes our club more inclusive and more flexible just because now we're able to do multiple genres and students can join the team of whatever genre they prefer. And within those teams, they can pick whatever role and try out anything that they want to. I believe the more flexible a club is, the more easy it is for students to join. And that's the type of environment that I feel that we have created in Mason Film and that I want to continue. I believe this level of flexibility will foster an environment that all students feel they can join, regardless of cultural or linguistic differences. I want to create a similar environment in ABN as well. In the past, a lot of students have felt left out with certain clubs because of language barriers and not being able to understand everything that was being said. In ABN, I don't want to have that sort of environment at all. I want to make sure that everyone can always understand what's going on and not feel left out due to any barriers in English or Korean. So since English is the common language of everyone at IGC, we would encourage all of our members to speak in English, but we wouldn't want people to feel left out the opposite way around either. So when people can't understand something in English, then we can have it explained to them in Korean. But still, the language that we would ask everyone to speak most of the time is English, so that no one feels left out or like they can't understand what's going on. Language barriers on campus have been a major source of division between Korean and international students. And I know that to some degree this is inevitable, but I still believe that as student leaders and students in general, we can all make a difference in making sure that the languages that we speak on campus can be understood by the people around us. That way, no one feels like they're purposely being excluded and like they're completely lost in a situation. The changes that I want to make within my clubs may seem small, but I know that they will make a big impact on our members and in turn, the entire Mason community. I am so appreciative of all the opportunities that I've been given at Mason, and I'm so excited to continue my work as a student leader. Thank you so much.